So let's look at the tools. And I want to tell you why I chose these tools. Out for the tools, the 6 tools. And so I chose these because, first of all, they're easy. They pack a punch with really good brain reparative juju. They're socially contagious, some of them. And so that benefits others and helps that whole relational safety factor that's so important. And it made a great anagram. So this is like, the tools are, remember it by be like a friend, okay? B is for breathe. L is for laugh. I is for imagine, and especially imagining what you want instead. K is for kind actions. A is for appreciate. And friend is for friend. You treat yourself like a friend and you treat others kindly like a friend too. So I'm going to ask Shelley to come up and do this with me. Your breathing is your first go-to, always. Check your breathing. Under stress and panic, your breathing will speed up. And if you can intentionally slow it down, you begin to signal safety. And so there's a vagus nerve that comes off the brain. The 10th cranial nerve is called the vagus nerve. Anybody heard of this one? And so it runs through all the organs in the body. And we can assist the relaxation response by touching in on the vagus nerve, which actually comes out just behind your ear. So you want to touch your ear. Use your middle finger. That's the one that has a meridian in it that's actually a helpful thing. So feel below your earlobe to that little soft spot. Everybody got that? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, and typically you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth, and you want the exhale to be slightly longer. When you exhale a little longer, that signals the vagus nerve, the vagus nerve can tell the organs of the body and your nervous system, hey, we can relax now. And then good neurochemistry can start kicking in. Let's try breathing in 4. If you need to breathe in 3 or 2, it doesn't matter. Just breathe out slightly longer. So count in to your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to exhale through your mouth slightly longer. Now, how does that feel? Can you breathe out to a 5?
Like a 10, 5.
Okay, that's great. Your vagus nerve is pretty relaxed, probably. I want to emphasize your breathing needs to be from the diaphragm, which means when you breathe in, your belly kind of expands like a balloon, and when you exhale, it kind of compresses. If you're breathing up here, it's shallow breathing, and that can actually induce panic because your body isn't getting enough oxygen. That's why the breathing is so first step. If you want to if you have a hand free, you can put your other finger behind the other ear, and you can grasp across your whole face like you're cupping your face, just like that. When you sit like that with your hands on your elbows out, and you just put your fingers behind your ears, you're doing this posture called the peacemaker, and it's calming the vagus nerve. So now go ahead and add your breathing. The next one is laughter. Laughter generates neurochemistry that kind of wipes out the stress neurochemistry, actually. You cannot be in a fear state and laugh at the same time. So there's a practice that you can do even if you need to fake the laughter. How about that? Your brain can't tell if you're faking the laughter. There's something called laughter yoga. Any of you heard of this? All right. You can look it up on YouTube and see the videos. Laughter is socially contagious. Sometimes when you start out fake laughing, it can switch to real laughter. So we're just going to start, just copycat me. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, 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 ha. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Point to your elbow, point to your elbow. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. You just dosed your brain with some great neurochemistry there. And I will tell you a confession. Sometimes when I'm home alone and I'm feeling edgy, like I'll be washing the dishes and I'll just go, ha, 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 ho, 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 he, ha, ha, ha. You can do that. Just anytime. In driving the car in traffic, somebody cuts you off, and you just go, ah, ha, 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 ah, ha, ha, ha. Right, right. Sometimes if you're just feeling irritable for no reason, whatever, just, you can tickle yourself. That's a great one. Look up the YouTube. You'll see some really fun things. So the next one, I have Shelley back. So this one is imagine. We did BLI. When you're stressed about something that is about, like maybe you're looking ahead at something stressful that's going to happen at school or at work or with your family, and you're nervous about it, you can tell you're nervous about it and you can go, I don't want to feel this way. So what do I want to feel instead? Think of a situation that you are not looking forward to. You don't have to say what it is. When you get in touch with whatever it is you don't want about it, like, ooh, this could go bad or something, you know. Ooh, this could go sour. I don't want it to be like that. And you know you're nervous. Think of a memory that has you feel the opposite. Like, what do you want to feel instead? So that's imagine instead. And so if something is making you nervous, you might want to feel calm or peaceful. Would that work for you for this?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a memory that for you represents a cherished experience you had when you felt so peaceful and so calm?
It used to be going to the beach when I was younger and I lived near the shore. Now it's going outside into nature and just playing in the dirt, seeing the flowers, just going out and feeling the sun and a nice breeze on me.
Okay, perfect. How many people have favorite memories of nature? You know, this is an excellent choice to use because sometimes if you pick a memory that has another person in it, and on a particular day you might be a little out of sorts with them, it might not have clean neurochemistry if you use that memory. So think of something in nature is always good. Sometimes you can think of a pet, that you love hugging a pet, a sunset, the ocean waves, that sort of thing. So think of can you say what your memory is now again? It's on being anywhere in nature?
Pretty much anywhere in nature. And what you're saying, pets, is I love walking and seeing all the people walking and all the dogs. And there's a cat that lives in one of the houses there, and I see that cat outside. And the cat came to me.
Okay.
I love petting the cat.
All right. So you want to focus in on something as specific as possible, because what we're going to do next with it is so you want to just focus on the cat outside?
Sure.
Okay. So you're going to now imagine this in as much detail as you can. So what does it feel like to be seeing the cat and petting the cat?
It's that purring. Is I'm purring along with the cat.
Oh.
Oh.
So are you petting the cat?
Well, I'm headbutting the cat.
Oh.
I'm not necessarily touching the cat,
Yeah.
but there is definite contact.
And is the cat looking back at you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you can imagine that cat, you can see that cat looking right back at you. You can hear the purring, right? You want to use all your senses. What does it sound like? You've got the sound. What does it look like? You've got the visual. What does it feel like? Well, you know what it's like to pet a cat, so you could just add that into your memory. It can be a fake memory. If you can't find a real one you'd like, make up one. or edit.
I'm the cat lady without the cats at this point.
So you have good memories with that. But you can edit the memory and add in stuff if you want. Just make it vivid. If there's a taste, include taste, how it feels in terms of the emotion. So what feeling state does it give you? Peace.
Calmness.
Calmness. All right, so now just go into that memory touch your heart because you're focusing on your heart. And you're just going to breathe into your heart and cherish that memory. Relive it in every detail possible. Do that for about 2 or 3 minutes. You just do that internally. And when you're at home and doing this, you'll just do that internally. And this is a great way to fall asleep. Anybody have trouble sleeping sometimes, falling asleep? This is a perfect time to do that. You just think of your memory. It gives you peace. Sometimes peace and calm, a feeling of support, a feeling of just pure beauty or love. So you can vary the memory, have a list of your favorite memories. The next one is kind actions. We want to do these kind acts on purpose. When we do, it activates your brain, has what's called a care circuit, and it releases a highly brain reparative chemistry called oxytocin. Anybody heard of that one? That's usually called the tend befriend or the hug and love chemical. Women experience it when they're breastfeeding, so it's just a really brain reparative one. When you do kind acts, you're not only activating your care circuit, but because I'm doing a kind act and I'm sharing it with you, your brain and your nervous system are responding to me, and your system is starting to relax, and so it's a twofer. I know that I'm helping my brain, and I'm helping her brain and body. So we can walk around in the world doing these kind acts, repairing our brain, and just effortlessly, simultaneously, just because of the ripple effect, be helping others feel safer and more connected with that relational safety, and have a moment of brain repair for them too. The kind acts seem effortless and meaningless, but they're not. Even just opening a door for someone, even the smiles, even the compliments, like looking for something. I love your garden.
Yes.
Oh, what a wonderful, cute dog. Just any of these are all kind acts. I remember my sons at young ages just like leaving love notes under our pillows with a little toy, and that's a kind act. And I remember my other son would walk around like hugging himself and saying, "Do you love yourself? Well, then hug yourself right now." And you know what? Hugging is a kind act to yourself as well as to others. And if you're not getting enough hugs because of COVID, you can hug yourself, and it really goes into the brain. And so now we're at B-L-I-K-A. A is for appreciate. And gratitude, as you know, you've probably heard how highly brain reparative that is. It's when you just notice what you really appreciate in life, what you really are grateful for. And at the end of the day, think of 3 things you're grateful for, write them down. And I call it appreciation because I think when you have the gratitude, if you express it to somebody and share what you appreciate about the goodness of anything, especially if it's about them. So like, Shelley, can I tell you how much I appreciate you being the volunteer for today and all that you were willing to do to get ready for that, and what goodwill you've had for that whole thing. Thank you so much. That's made the whole evening easier for me.
You're welcome, and thank you for asking me. I'm enjoying it.
Ah, wonderful. So it's as simple as that. So it goes in big time to the brain, and we don't take enough time to express appreciation. Some people just say, "Oh, thanks," and we're on our way. But if you stop and really savor it for 20 seconds, 20 seconds is what really starts kicking in the brain chemistry. So the last one is friend. And it's to befriend yourself first with self-compassion, with supportive self-talk, and then you pass it on to others. I use this model that the Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of Tibet, and he says, "My religion is kindness." His monks he had to leave Tibet because they were being invaded by the Chinese, who was destroying their village, the whole fear wolf, love wolf story. And they witnessed the genocide and the tragedy, and they had to go into exile in India. And nonetheless, they do this self-love, self-compassion practice. And when they measured the brains of the Tibetan monks for the brain neuroscience research at the request of the Dalai Lama, they found out that the Tibetan monks had the happiest brains ever measured. Now, how could they go through all that and still have the happiest brains? This compassion, this self-compassion. So here's how it goes. Put your hand on your heart, and you just breathe in and out through your heart just a minute and connect with yourself. And so the words that the Dalai Lama and the monks use is, so it would be, may I know peace. So you can just say that to yourself, may I know peace, and breathe in, breathe out. May I know safety. Breathe in, breathe out. May I know love. Breathe in, breathe out, like that. Then you can actually go to somebody else who's having a hard time. So Shelley, can I use you again? So, oh, you've had such a hard day, Shelley. Oh, dear, let's just slow down for a minute. Can I just share some compassion with you for a minute?
Sure.
All right, put your hand on your heart. And breathe in a little bit, breathe out. Shelley, may you know peace.
Me too.
Thank you. May you know safety.
You as well.
Thank you. May you know love.
All around.
So that's it. It's not any harder than that. It doesn't have to get fancy. Not a lot to remember. Just whatever you wish you could feel. Give it to yourself first, and then if there's been a hard time in the family and everybody's on edge or at odds, you can do that together in the family and just say, all right, we went through a hard time with this. Let's give each other some compassion. And I think really everybody under COVID, however their behavior looks, because we know now that a lot of it can be coming from the limbic brain being triggered, everybody deserves compassion. With the compassion practice, you can use that in a public setting when you see something happening that's making you anxious. You can stop and say, may I know peace, breathe, and you can send it out to the agitator or troublemaker and just in your own thoughts say, and may you know peace. Because when you're feeling judgment and resentment and blame, it's not going out to that other person, it's going in here to your brain first. And that's why the monks have the happiest brains in the world. They just continually do this. This is their practice every day. So when you see something upsetting you, a family member carrying on, and it's getting your nervous system all upset, you can just, maybe it's not the time to say to them, may you know peace, they might fly off the handle, but you can think it to them. So here are some things that are naturally brain reparative that have been mentioned, and I want to recap that you're doing a lot right to repair your brain, even if you don't know it, but the thing is to do it on purpose. So let me just mention time in nature is highly brain reparative. And playing is highly brain reparative. Does anybody exercise on purpose? That's highly brain reparative too. Getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, hydrating with water, clean water. These actually are things that help the brain, and they all count. Positive sharing of, like the good news of, checking in with each other at the end of the day, all those things. Anybody do yoga? Highly brain reparative. Anybody meditate? Very, very highly brain reparative. This set of tools, as I mentioned, is geared at fast, easy, and socially contagious, because we really want to be able to pass it on as much as possible.